Good morning, students. So we have discussed the two chapters of this information and communications technology skills 2. Now we are starting the third chapter, that is various peripheral devices of computer. So first of all, we need to know what are peripheral devices. Peripheral devices are the devices which are attached to the computer from outside. These are not the main parts of the computer. We usually attach them from outside. So as we have already discussed in the previous two chapters that a computer system consists of two major components. One is software and one is hardware. And because of these two components, it enables the computer to perform major function like processing, calculation, doing graphics work, everything. So all of the work of the computer are only because of these two components, hardware and software. Now hardware is the physical part that we can touch, feel, we can see them. Okay, these are physically visible. Physically we can touch them, we can feel them. For example, we can touch the keyboard, we can touch the monitor. But software is not the physical part. Software is the instruction or the program that we give to the computer to make the hardware do some work, to make the hardware function. So in whatever language like C, C++, Python or machine language or assembly language, in whatever language we give instruction to the computer, we give programs to the computer to do something so that the hardware can function, is the software. Software is not a physical part, it is not an intangible part of the computer. It is actually the collection of data and programs, means our instructions, and whatever data we give, the work is done on that data based on the program. So we can see and work on the data, we can see and work on the program, on the instructions, but we cannot touch or feel them. So basically a computer consists of two parts. One is the hardware, the physical part, and one is the software, the part, the instruction that is worked upon. Hardware cannot work on its own, it needs the software. So now in hardware we are going to study about the peripheral devices. Peripheral devices are the external hardware which are attached to the computer. These are not part of the main computer component. These are attached from outside. So computer peripherals or computer peripheral devices are the devices that are connected to computer but are not part of the core computer. Means these are attached from the outside. So they are the devices which are used to input instruction or input information into the computer for storing, processing, and they are also used to output the data. Means the physical part, the tangible part, the hardware that is used to either input the data, to process the data, or for showing the data after the processing work is complete, is actually the hardware. Now peripheral actually refers to a device external to the computer case, means this is not part of the main computer case. We connect the device to the computer from outside so that we can expand the functionality of the computer. For example, I want to print something. I will attach a printer from outside, so it will help increase the functionality of the computer. Now we can take a hard copy of the soft copy that we are able to see in the computer. So this way it has expanded or increased the functionality of the computer system. So once a printer is connected, you can take a printout of the document. One more thing is that peripheral devices are not standalone devices. They need a system. For example, you cannot take a printout directly from the printer. You need to attach it to any device, either computer or sometimes mobile phones also. But these are not standalone devices. They cannot do anything on their own. They are dependent on computer system. So another way to describe the peripheral devices is that they are dependent on the computer system. They are not standalone devices. You cannot use them directly. For example, a scanner. A scanner also need to be connected to a computer. It will convert the hard copy to soft copy. But for that soft copy to be saved, to be processed, we need a computer. So they cannot work on their own. They only become functional when we connect them to a computer system. Now the computer peripheral devices are categorized in 4 categories. These are the 4 main categories or work which is performed by the computer system, and for all of these work we need some peripheral devices. So basically a computer does the work that we call IPO, input, process, output. This is the main function of the computer. Take the input, process on it, and then give the output. So this work, input, process, output, is done using some peripheral devices also, and after the output is complete, the information that we get, the last information that we get, need to be saved, and for that we need storage devices. There are 4 basic peripheral devices that are used for basic 4 works that a computer do. So we have categorized them as input unit, processing unit, output unit based on the IPO cycle. Now we will see them, how they usually work. So first one is input unit. As the name suggests, it is used to input data into the computer. So it does the work of giving input to a computer. Next is processing unit. It is used to process the data. Whatever data is given to the computer in the form of input is processed upon by the central processing unit or CPU. Okay, for that also we need some hardware. Output unit. Output unit is used to show the result after the processing work is complete. So it carry out the task of displaying or giving output from the computer. And when this work is complete, we have some data which we want to save for a long time permanently. Then we need memory and storage unit. Okay, so different type of memory units are there. For example, optical storage, magnetic storage, and these optical storage or magnetic storage allow us to store data or instructions permanently. So we have discussed about the processing unit in the previous classes, and we have discussed about memory unit also in the previous class, like RAM and ROM. Okay, so we will discuss some more devices. We will know about input devices, some output devices, and some storage devices in this chapter. So first of all, we are going to start with input devices. You can see, as the name suggests, they are used to input data, means they are used to give instruction to the computer in the form of data. So input unit comprises so many devices, and these are used to give input to the computer. So they are basically used to give input to the computer in the form of image, in the form of text, in the form of character, in the form of number. There are so many types of input devices. Basic input devices that we use are keyboard, mouse, joystick, which is used for playing games, and there are so many other input devices. So basically they are used to give an input to the computer, input in the form of data. Now we have some commonly used input devices here. Some commonly used input devices here. Here we can see this is keyboard. This is the joystick, mostly used for playing games. Okay, here we have the mouse. This is also joystick. This is also used for playing games. This is a scanner used in shops. Okay, so these are some various input devices. Now one by one we are going to study about these devices. The first is the keyboard. Keyboard is the most common input device, and we have seen it. It is a very popular and very common input device. So it is an input device that enables us, the user, to input data and instruction in the form of text, number, character. So we input text, number, and some special character using the keyboard. It is like the traditional typewriter that was used to type something directly on a paper. Still it is used in court. So it is like the original, the typical traditional typewriter. Okay, now we have added some more keys also, although there are some additional keys. For example, the function keys F1, F2, F3 till F12. The function keys are from F1 to F12. Okay, we have a space bar key that is also available in the typewriter. Shift key, control key, arrow keys for the movement. Arrow keys are like this. We have these arrow keys on the keyboard. Home key, end key, delete key, page up, page down. These are to perform some additional functions. Now keyboards can be classified of two types. One is wired, which uses wire, and one is wireless or cordless, means without cord or without wire. So wired keyboards are attached with the CPU through a wire, and wireless keyboards are attached to the CPU without wire. So when we are saying without wire, so they either use Bluetooth or they either use Wi-Fi. They are not directly connected using a wire, they are connected through Bluetooth or through Wi-Fi. Now we have the mouse. Mouse is a very small device. It is very small, and that's why it is a handheld device. It is used to move cursor across the screen. It is a pointing device actually. It is a pointing device. So it is the most popular and widely used pointing device. There are so many other pointing devices like joystick also is a pointing device, but mouse is mostly used. Now basically we have three types of mouse. One is the mechanical mouse, one is the optical mouse, and one is the cordless mouse. Mechanical mouse had a rubber ball at the bottom. I think so many of you have not seen that mouse, but it was used I think 5 or 10 years before it was there. The ball was there, this was the ball, and because of the movement of this ball the cursor was moving. So the rubber ball moves the pointer or the cursor on the monitor screen. Now this type of mouse is not used. We usually use the optical mouse. So it is the most commonly used mouse nowadays. It uses LED light instead of that rubber ball. The rubber ball that was there in the mechanical mouse is now replaced with the LED, light emitting diode. So whenever you will move the mouse, you will see here that there is an LED light, and using that LED light the mouse is working. Now we have one more types of mouse like keyboard. We have wireless mouse also. Wireless mouse or cordless mouse. So these types of mouse are also used nowadays with laptops or tab or tablets. It uses the wireless technology like Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, sometimes infrared also. Infrared is not used now. IR blaster mostly used in remote, but nowadays mouse or other devices are not using infrared technology. Basically they use Bluetooth or nowadays the latest one Wi-Fi to control the movement of the cursor. Okay, these types of mouse are also optical mouse, but they are wireless. So we can say it is optical wireless mouse because they are also based on the optical technology, based on LED lighting. Next we have the joystick. Joystick, like mouse, is also a pointing device. It consists of a lever. This is the lever. It consists of a lever which is used to move the cursor on the computer or monitor screen. Okay, so the function of joystick is similar to that of mouse. In mouse also we move the cursor or the pointer, and in joystick also we move the cursor or the pointer. Now joystick has a different role to play. It is used to play games, mostly it is used to play games, and it is used to create 2D or 3D designs. 2D or 3D designs. Whenever you want to design any model of a vehicle, model of a machine, using computer aided designing technology, we use joystick. So either you are using AutoCAD or you are using any other software to create the design. Basically AutoCAD is used to create design of a building. So in that case you are using joystick. Next we have the scanner. Scanner is also an input device. Now scanner actually converts your hard copy into soft copy. Hard copy to soft copy. So a scanner is also an input device that works almost like a photocopy machine. It transfers image, text or any other thing like character from paper to the computer. In paper format it is hard copy, and when it is converted and saved to the computer in different formats, it becomes the soft copy. So here in paper it is the hard copy, and when we convert it into different formats it is the soft copy. So it takes input from a hard copy resource like images or any paper which is printed or any text is printed on the paper, and converts it into a soft copy or digital image. Now we have the microphone, also called mic in short form. We usually call it mic. So mic is also an input device that is used to give voice and sound input to the computer. Why are we using microphone? Because computer cannot understand our voice. It can only understand digital data. So we have to convert our voice into digital format so that computer can understand it. That is why we go for microphone. So the sound input given by us is stored in digital form in the computer, because computer can only understand the digital format. That is why we use microphone. Microphone converts the voice into digital format. So it is used for adding sound to any multimedia presentation or for mixing music. Means if you want to insert your voice, your audio into the computer, you need microphone or mic. Now these are some basic devices that we usually see. We have worked on these basic devices like microphone, scanner, sometimes we use joystick, we have used mouse also, keyboard also. But there are some devices which are not commonly used, but they are very important. So these are the first one is magnetic ink card reader or MICR. MICR or magnetic ink card reader is also an input device which is mainly used in banks. On check, suppose this is an example of a check, on a checkbook, on a check page, okay, you see these signs. Okay, so bank code number and check number, these two are printed on the check with a special type of ink. Okay, and this ink is only understandable by this machine. So no one can come with a counterfeit check. It should be original check issued by the bank, and that's why bank writes the code number of the bank and check number with a special type of ink that contains particles of magnetic material, and these particles of magnetic material are only readable by the machine. So now no one can come with a counterfeit one. The check should be original, that is issued by the bank, and for understanding this, for knowing this, they use MICR, that the check is original or not, check is having the correct information or not. So a large number of checks are processed every day. MICR helps in verifying the legitimacy of the check, means it is the original one issued by the bank or it is a counterfeit. So in a very fast and in a very efficient manner they are able to recognize the check. Next we have the optical character reader. Optical character reader is a device that can convert any image with text. If you have any image with text, for example this is an image with text, and I want to extract only text from this image, then I will go for OCR, optical character reader. For example, I want to get this text, magnetic ink card reader, MICR and all of these text, and I want to paste it on a Word document. So for that I will go for OCR. OCR is also an input device that is used to read a printed text. For example, this is the printed text. So it scans the text optically, character by character. Okay, it converts the text into a machine readable code and stores it in the system memory. So if you want to convert any image which is having a text in text format, machine readable format, then you will go for OCR, optical character reader. Okay, now we have the OMR. I think you all have heard about Omr Sheet. Omr Sheet is used in taking MCQ based examination. Here you get 4 choices and you have to color. So suppose there were 4 options and option number C was correct, so you had to correct C. Now what happens, it sends rays. Rays are going, one ray is for the correct one, so here it will strike, and because it is shaded, it will bounce back. So now computer will give you 1 mark because you have colored the correct one. And there are some rays which are for the wrong one. Suppose you have shaded this one also, B also, so it will not give you marks, it will give you 0 marks, because B, the ray which is going through B should go and it should not bounce. It bounces, it means that you have not marked the correct answer. So OMR is a special type of optical scanner used to recognize the type of marks made by a pen or a pencil. These are the marks, it bounces back, and because of this it is able to recognize. It is mainly used for checking the answer sheets of examination. We have the where we have the MCQ question, multiple choice questions. Next we have the barcode reader. Barcode reader is also an input device that is used to read the bar-coded data. Okay, the data is like this. These are some bars. Okay, one is thick, one is thin, like this. So these bars are read by the barcode reader. So data is in the form of light and dark lines and area which is not shaded. Likewise, we have the data, and for taking this data we have the barcode reader. So bar-coded data is generally used in labeling goods, products, numbering the book at the back. Okay, so for recognizing the code, the barcode that is fitted, we use a barcode reader. So it can be a handheld scanner. You can take it in the hand, like this is one is a handheld scanner, or sometimes it may be embedded in stationary scanner also, but it is able to scan the barcode. Mostly used in supermarkets and shopping malls for processing the bills. It makes the work fast. Instead of writing or typing the information itself, the person there at the shopping mall or supermarket will just scan it and the processing work can go on. All the information about the device, its price, products, its price, its specifications, its weight, everything is given there. So directly the machine can read it. Next we have the magnetic reader, the swiping machine that we usually use in shops to swipe our credit card or debit card or ATM card. So the magnetic reader, this one, the swiping machine, can read magnetic information with a single swipe in either direction. Like this you can also swipe, or like this you can also swipe. It depends upon you. Okay. It is used to basically authenticate and grant you access to enter the premises of some organizations also. For example, in hotels, in rooms you will get card. You will directly swipe the card near the door and you will be able to enter into the room. So all the credit card swipes, all the debit card swipes, or all the ATM card swipes are read with the help of this magnetic reader. Now we have the most popular nowadays input device, that is the touch screen. Touch screen is also an input device. Touch screen basically consists of the computer display screen, means the screen of the computer, means it is connected to the monitor. It can also be used as an input device, means it can also be used to input data to the computer. Now this touch screen allows the user to interact with the computer using touch. You can touch the thumbnails, you can touch on any part of the screen. If it will work as mouse, it will work. So you can touch the thumbnails on the screen. The screen is sensitive to pressure points are there, and thus it captures the input. Now so many touch screen laptops, mostly mobile phones, tablets are touch screen. Right now I am also using this pen because the screen that I am using is touch sensitive. So we have talked about so many input devices. Now we will talk about some output devices, some popular output devices. Output devices display the output or the result. They display the output or the result after the processing work have been complete. Data which was given as input is processed by the processing unit, mostly the CPU, central processing unit, and after the processing work is complete, it gives the output. Now for showing the output, for displaying the output, we need the output devices. Some commonly used output devices: monitor, speaker, printer. Okay, so one by one we are going to study about them. So first of all, the monitor, the most popular one. Monitor is also called visual display unit or VDU. We can say it is the main output device of the computer. So whatever output is created after the processing work is complete is shown on the monitor screen, on the screen of the monitor. Now this screen consists of very small dots called pixels, and these pixels actually create the image for the output. So it forms images using tiny dots called pixels that are arranged in a rectangular form. Very small dots are there, and combined together these dots create the image. The more the pixels, the more sharp the image. The sharpness of the image mostly depends upon the number of pixels. And the output that is displayed on the monitor is a soft copy, means it is in digital format. There are so many types of monitors. One is CRT, cathode ray tube, not used nowadays. It was the big screen, not used nowadays. Now we have the LCD screen called liquid crystal display, and now we have the LED, light emitting diode, the latest one. And nowadays one more have came, OLED. Okay, so now this is mostly used. So CRT it stands for cathode ray tube, which is a tube coated with phosphorus in the inner surface, and when electrons produced by the E-gun come in contact with the phosphorus wall, light is produced, and this light lets us see what is in the computer, what is on the screen, what is on the monitor. Now it is not used, not so popular. LCD is used, and now we have the LED. LCD, which stands for liquid crystal display, it is able to show you the result on a thin flat display screen. Okay, so many colors of monochrome pixels are arranged in front of a light source or reflector, and because of that we are able to see. Now we have the latest one, the light emitting diode or LED. It is a semiconductor diode that inhibits or emits incoherent narrow spectrum light when electrically biased forward junction of the PN junction. This effect forms the electroluminescence, and because of this we are able to see. We will not go deeper into this PN junction. These are the part of the physics. In higher classes you will study about it. Right now we will see that it is a part of a screen. Now we have the speaker. In mic we saw that our voice was converted into digital form. This was the work of mic or microphone. Now the work of speaker is like this. Again this digital form is converted into a voice so that we can understand. We cannot understand the digital format. So for that we need a speaker. Speaker will convert the digital format into the voice which we can hear, we can understand. So speakers give an audio output in the form of sound. The sound is produced by the computer in the digital form. It is converted into voice form which we can understand. So they receive audio input from the computer's sound card. This is the digital input, and they produce the audio output in the form of sound waves which we can understand. Speakers are also wired, and nowadays we are using wireless speaker also. So wireless external speakers are also used nowadays. Next we have the printer. Printer allows us to get a hard copy of our soft copy. So printer is also an output device that prints the output on a piece of paper. So it prints the output. Now the output which is obtained is called the hard copy. When it is in the computer's screen or monitor, it is called the soft copy, either in the form of image or PDF. It converts this soft copy into hard copy, means in the physical form. Now we can touch it and we can take it wherever we want. Now there are basically two types of printers. One is impact printer and one is non-impact printer. As the name suggests, they are based on this technology. One is based on direct impact technology and one is not based on impact technology. Printers are broadly classified into two parts: impact printer and non-impact printers. Impact printers, two examples are there: dot matrix printer and line printer. Non-impact printer, inkjet, laser and thermal wax. Mostly we use non-impact printers because they are very fast in comparison to impact printers. Impact printers were old. Basically we use either inkjet or laser printer. So first of all we will see the impact printers. Impact printers are the oldest printer, but still you will find it in some government offices. It is used still it is in use in some government offices because of its reasonable cost. It is not that costly. Okay, now because we have impact name, it is based on impact technology. So it is a type of printer that works by direct contact or direct impact of an ink ribbon with paper. So there is a ribbon and there is a strike on the ribbon, and this strikes imprints whatever we want to imprint on the paper. So it prints whatever you want. It prints letter, it prints digit, it prints dot, it prints line by striking, by impacting a head against the ink ribbon to make mark on the paper. And because it is able to print characters, so it is called character printer. So based on the impact technology, it strikes the head against the ink ribbon and then marks anything on the paper. And because of this process, it creates so much noise also. So one is dot matrix printer and one is the line printer. Now first of all, we will see the dot matrix printer. These are those robust printers. These are not sensitive to dust because they are not based on the ions technology. Our non-impact printers are based on the ions technology, and that is why dust is a problem for them. These are based on the impact technology. Direct they strike on the ribbon and create the imprint, and that is why they do not have any problem with dust. These are not sensitive to dust. So they are ideal for those environment where we have to produce carbon copy of the print. Might be you have seen this or not. When you have to print an original one also and you want a carbon copy, then you will go for dot matrix printer. Here at the top you will print the main, you will put the main paper. After that you will put the carbon copy after the main paper, and again you will put one more paper. So main paper will have the main print and we will have a copy on the carbon copy also. Carbon copy is also based on pressure. So matrix printer or line, these are also based on copy or impact. So whatever is printed on the paper, we had an impact, and using the carbon that is also printed on that very paper. So we can print it on two paper at the same time. One will be the original copy and one will be a copy using the carbon. So in this type of printers, basically the paper is pressed against a drum. The drum is constantly moving. The drum is actually a rubber coated cylinder, and this cylinder is constantly moving, and whenever we want to print something, it just impacts the paper. So it is intermittently pulled forward as we want to print something, and it presses the paper and it prints. Now the electromagnetically driven print head moves across the paper and strikes the printer's ribbon. Ribbon is actually having a black ink in it, and this blank ink helps in printing something. So this printer's ribbon situated between the paper and the print head is actually having the ink which is getting imprinted. The impact of the print head against the printer ribbon, but when the print head strikes, so the impact actually creates the imprint or the dot, and using those dots or imprints, it creates the alphabet, it creates the character, okay, which form the human readable characters. Next we have the line printer, somewhat faster than the dot matrix printer. So these are a form of high speed impact printer that prints a line of character at a time, not a single dot. Dot matrix actually creates multiple dots, and these dots are combined together to create one character. So it takes so much time. But in line printers, it prints a line of characters at a time, so it takes less time. So rather than a character at a time, it prints a line of characters at a time. It can print about 200 to 3000 lines per minute. Now we have the non-impact printers, like for example we have the inkjet printer, we have the laser printer, we have the thermal wax printer. So one by one we are going to study about these also. So all the impact printers print very slow, because again and again they are going to strike on the ribbon, and then one special dot is printed and then they move like this. So it creates so much time. Because of their slow mechanical movement, they take so much time. Now a non-impact printer, which is not based on the impact technology or striking technology, it does not strikes on the ribbon. It produces output on the paper without striking the paper. It does not strike the paper. Okay, it does not strikes to create, there is no any print head pin that is going to strike. So they are faster and they produce no noise or less noise during the printing process, because no striking work is going on. That is why it did not create noise or less noise. And one more thing, they can print color image or colored graphics also. Now we are going to study about different types of non-impact printers, like inkjet printer, laser printer and thermal wax printers. So first of all, the inkjet printer. Inkjet actually sprays the ink. Inkjet actually sprays the ink. As the name suggests, it sprays the ink. So it sprays teeny drops of ink. It sprays teeny drops of ink from the print head on the paper. So somewhere we have the ink, and from that print head they actually spread the ink. These teeny drops of inks are spread, and because of this spreading in a particular manner, it produces good quality output and does not make any noise. Now the spreading of the ink is the most important process, and this spreading is actually done using a technology that helps it in spreading the ink at the exact place where it is needed. Now we have the laser printer. Now in laser printer we use the static electricity, the ions, to arrange the toner on the paper. Okay, toner are actually the particles of the ink. These are dry, mostly they are dry, and these toner actually are spread, the particles of the toner, the particles of the solid particles of the ink actually, or the toner, is spread on the paper and it arranged using the static electricity or ions, and in this way it forms an image. Then when it is on its original place, now we have to fix it, and for fixing the paper is heated so that the toner is fused to the paper. Now it will be heated, and when it will come, it will cool down, and after that it will remain as it is. These printers produce very high quality output and are very expensive. Now we have the thermal wax printer, not mostly used, it is used in ATMs. Thermal wax printer use a ribbon which passes in front of a teeny heated pins. Here also we have pins, but these pins are heated. teeny heated pins are there, and the ribbon is passing through these teeny heated pins, and these teeny heated pins melt the wax from the ribbon, and this wax is printed onto the paper. So basically they are used, these types of papers are in some shop also, you will find it. Basically they are used for printing receipt in ATMs. Now we have the projector. Projector is used to produce a computer output on a big screen. It is mostly used in meeting room or in classroom of education institute. In your school also we have the projector. It actually projects the same thing which is on the computer screen on a big screen and nothing else. Whatever is there on the computer's screen is projected onto a big screen using the projector. As the name suggests, it is used to project something on a big screen. Next we have the headphone. Headphone is also composed of actually speakers, but it is attached to the ear. Directly we can hear. Someone who is outside and who does not wants to hear from me, so he or she will not have any problem. Okay, so we have the headphone. Headphone are actually a pair of small speakers that are designed to be worn on the user's ears. That is why we call them ear speaker or earphone. So one single person directly can listen to the music from the computer with the help of the headphone. Nowadays 2 person can also listen. Now we have ear dopes also. Storage devices. When we talk about storage devices, we mostly talk about those storage devices which can save the data permanently for a long time. So storage devices are used for storing the data permanently for a long time, porting the data from one place to another. Suppose I have some data, I have to take it to Patna, so I will save it and then I will take it to Patna also. And they are also used for extracting data files. Suppose I have the file saved in my external hard disk, I can extract it from here and I can fill it in my computer. So they can hold data, they can store information or data either for some time or permanently also. So they are of basically two types, internal and external. Internal storage devices are in the computer's case. They are connected to the main computer system. And external, for example, external hard disk or pen drive or CD or DVD, these are connected from outside. So when we have to port any data, we mostly go for external, and when we have to save the data for the computer to use, we go for internal. So first of all we can talk about some internal one and then we will talk about the external. Internal storage device, mostly we go for hard disk. These are the devices that are fixed inside the system. RAM is also a memory device, ROM is also a memory device having less memory but still they have memory, and the memory that is permanent, for example RAM is volatile and ROM is not volatile. So we have one more non-volatile memory, that is the hard disk. The data is not going to vanish when you will switch off the computer. It will remain there permanently. It will only be erased when you will erase it electronically or electrically. So these are the hard disk. First one, the hard disk. It is the main and permanent computer data storage for saving the data permanently. It is a non-volatile device. The data is not going to vanish. It stores all the data, all the information of the computer, It is not like RAM. It will retain the data even if the machine is powered off or interrupted because of a power cut. Data can be only lost if hard drive sometimes breaks or sometimes corrupts. So this is a problem. Sometimes hard disk also corrupt. Now we are nowadays using external hard disk also. That is external device that is connected from outside. So external hard disk is also used, also called portable hard disk, is also a storage device that can be attached to computer using USB, universal serial bus. It is not inside the computer. It is also having a vast storage like the hard disk, and mainly used for taking a backup of the data. Suppose there is a data which is very important, I want to make a copy of this data, so that if sometimes the hard disk corrupts or breaks, then also we have this information. So we use this. Or sometimes if we want to expand the capacity of our hard disk, suppose I have a hard disk of 512 GB and I need some more data, so I will save one in the external hard disk. Next we have the external storage devices. As the name suggests, they are added from outside. So external storage devices are portable storage devices that are used to store information and can be carried. Carried means they are portable, you can take them wherever you want and you can get the data again, but still they need any computing device. So you can take it, carry it out anywhere. They are basically of two types, one is magnetic and one is optical. In optical we have the CD, DVD, Blu-ray, disc, USB is based on the flash technology. It is a flash memory. These are some examples of the external storage devices that are not fixed inside. These are not part of the computer system. They are attached from outside, and that is why they are portable also. In optical disc, we have so many types of disc like CD, DVD, Blu-ray disc. So optical disc is a portable storage medium. It is portable, you can take it wherever you want. It uses laser beam to read and write the data. To imprint the data and to read the data, they use laser beam. So first of all, we are going to have CD or compact disc. It is also a portable storage medium that is also used to record and store audio, video or any other type of digital file or digital media. Now a CD is mostly of 4.7 inches or 120 millimeter in diameter. It is mostly 1.2 millimeter thick and weighs between 15 gram to 20 grams. It is having capacity of 80 minutes of audio, 650 MB megabyte to 700 MB of data. So it is having a less capacity. Mostly 700 MB or less of data can be stored in them. In whatever format you want, data should be digital. Now comes the DVD, digital versatile disc, having more capacity than optical disc, means the CD, compact disc. So it is also an optical disc with 4.7 GB storage capacity. So for using this capacity, you can have a good film in the DVD. It can be single-sided also. Sometimes it is double-sided. If it is double-sided, it will increase the capacity of the DVD. Okay. They have basically two layers on each side. A double-sided 2-layered will give you more space. So it can hold up to 17 GB of video, audio or any other digital information. Now more memory than DVD, we have the Blu-ray. It is the latest technology in the optical disc storage. A Blu-ray can store a very large amount of HD video. It stores, its capacity is 5 times higher than the storage capacity of DVD and can hold up to 25 GB on a single layer and 50 GB on dual layer disc. So more memory, so more power. Now we have the flash drive. also called the pen drive, mostly used by us. So a flash drive, which is most popularly known as the pen drive, because it is very small, very portable, you can take it wherever you want. It can be connected to a computer using USB and other devices using USB port. So it has an electrically erasable memory. You can erase it and you can again feed the data. So you can again and again use the data. It ranges from 2 GB, 4 GB, 16 GB, 8 GB. Now we have 1 TB also. Next, a very small memory device used in mobile phones, the memory card. This is the memory card of 32 GB storage. A memory stick, or also called memory card, commonly called memory card. It is a type of flash drive like the pen drive. It is very small, very compact than a pen drive, and generally used in digital devices like digital camera, smartphone, tablet, and they range from 4 MB to 256 GB. Now we have 512 GB also memory card. Okay, now we can move on to some questions in the test yourself. Okay, so our first question here is, which of the following is not an input device? So joystick is an input device, scanner is an input device, keyboard is also an input device. So answer will be monitor is an output device. Which of the following is an output device? Joystick is an input device, hard disk is a storage device, microphone is an input device. So answer will be monitor. Which of the following is a storage device? So headphone is not a storage device, it is output device. Modem is for connecting the computer to the internet, and CPU is a processing device. That is why the answer will be compact disc. Which of the following is not a storage medium? So DVD is used to store data, memory card is also used to store data, CD is also used to store data. So we will have the answer as printer. Which of the following devices is the permanent computer data storage? ROM is a permanent storage but very small. That is why it is part of the main memory or the primary memory. RAM is non-volatile, it cannot save the data permanently. Now we have the Blu-ray disc. Blu-ray is external one. It is not a part of the computer data storage. So that's why the answer will be hard disk. It is part of the computer data storage. What is the full form of OMR? So OMR stands for Optical Mark Reader. Now true false, the scanner is an output device. So scanner is an output device. Scanner is actually an input device. So the answer will be false. Printer gives a soft copy as output. No, printer gives a hard copy. That's why it is also false. OMR is used for checking the answer sheet. Yes, true. Answer sheets means the MCQ based answer sheets. The touch screen is also an input device. True, it is used to input. Joystick is mainly used in computer design. Yes. The portable hard disk is a type of internal storage device. No, portable hard disk is external. It is an external storage device. That is why it is false. The blanks is used to input the text and numerical data. For that we use keyboard. Mouse uses wireless technology like Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. So it is cordless mouse or wireless mouse. Next we have the debit card swipes are read with the help of magnetic reader. There are mainly three types of monitors: CRT, cathode ray tube, LED, light emitting diode, and LCD, liquid crystal display. It is mostly used LED now. It was also used LCD. Blanks is used in digital devices. So we use memory card in digital devices, and for touch we use touch screen. So you can write both. It will be a better answer. Memory card is used in digital devices such as smartphones. So chapter is complete.